Hi everyone, so today's video is about life. That's right, it's about everything out here. It's a hard one, guys. It's a hard one. It's so stressful, and just school and college does not prepare you at all. Get that straight now. School and colleges are terrible for this sort of thing. To begin with, you're out there and you're stuck in school and you don't like it, if you feel like you can't do it, but because everyone else is telling you that you need to get your A-levels, you need to go to uni, you don't need to do all that stuff. You don't need to worry about going to school or college or uni to be able to get a job. I'm not saying don't go to school, I'm not saying don't get grades, because yes, it will make life so much easier sometimes. Oh, I'm not going to go anywhere, I'm not going to be able to get a job, I'm not going to do anything if I can't do maths or I can't do English or if I can't do science. You don't have to worry about that, because you can. If you work hard and if you want to do something, you can do it, basically. If you can dream it, you can be it. Anyway, on with the video. Banks. Like the different types of banks. Like I have no idea what an ISIS is, or a currency account is, or anything. I have no idea, and I know that sounds really bad, and maybe it's just me that doesn't know these things. Maybe everyone else in the entire world that's my age gets taught about these things, and I just don't remember. But I have no idea what any of these accounts and banks things are. I have no idea. And I'm like, huh? What? No idea when it comes to money and banking. I'm just in my little box. I'm just like, I don't know anything. It generally scares me about how much I don't know about the world. And yes, I'm learning as I go, but I really want people to realise that school in college does not prepare you for this world that we're in. It does not prepare you, and you need to be prepared even from a really young age, even in like secondary school, because I can understand like A-levels and universities doing it, which I don't think they do as much, or they should do it properly. But I think people should be taught it from a young age, so you're being prepared. We have this thing, definitely in Britain. I don't know if how good other schools are in different countries, but in Britain we are so boxed in. We keep our children so kind of locked in and kind of like sheltered from the mess that is the world. So this is your child in here, and then this is the mess of the world around it, and it's child like, oh yeah, it's like little kind of like everything's fine, the world's really nice, and then the world's all like this, and it's like, oh no, everything's fine. And I think we need to open up the box. Maybe not all the way open, but at least like let the child see a bit of like the best that's going on up here. So then you have a sense and they have a feeling of what's going to happen in the future, and they are prepared for it. Because at this moment in time, I am shitting it, and I am so scared about what's going on out there and what I'm having to get into, what I'm already into. And like I said, I am learning as I go. And this is one situation, this is one thing that I wish I wasn't learning as I went. I love kind of like jumping into things and just kind of like going with the flow, but real life, I would rather have been prepared for it. I would rather have known what I'm doing. And school is just really bad for that. And I don't think this video is going to help. School and college does not prepare you for a job and having CVs and being able to like kind of like know what to do when you get in there. When I moved into Milton Keynes, I had no idea. I was like, shit, I need to get money, I need a job. How on earth? I didn't know where to start with having to look for a job. I didn't have a very good CV, I didn't know how to properly write a CV, what to do in interviews. like, you don't get taught that in college or school. You don't get told like, okay, when you go into an interview, this is what's going to happen, you've got to do this, not this, or wear this, or, you know, they tell you to like kind of like act smart. So my first interview, I got a job at Zizi's restaurant. One of the things that they told us in Zizi's was we had a kind of like interview trial shift thing at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and I think there was supposed to be like 5 or 6 of us turn up, and only 2 of us turned up. And the guy was like, this is why we do it on a Saturday morning, because it kind of like separates the ones who actually want the job and ones who just can't be bothered to get up on Saturday. So if you want the job, you've got to put in the effort, wake up early, get there, like, do it, be on time. Don't kind of say, oh yeah, I want the job, and the moment they go like, oh, you have to get up early on Saturday, it's like, oh no, thank you. No. You want the job, put in the effort, put in the work, get up early, and you do it. That's one thing people don't tell you. Yeah, so that's the first thing I learned with my first job interview. Having a job interview in Lidl showed me so much. There was 2 of us, so it was me and this other lady. The boss person kept asking us questions about kind of like, what do you know about Lidl? Do you know where it originates from? Do you know how many places we have? And this other woman was going like, yeah, it's from here, we did this, we have that. And I'm sitting there kind of going like, no, I don't know anything. And I just sat and smiled, and I was just like, what? Hi. And I, honest to God, thought I wasn't going to get the job because this woman knew everything. I was just like, oh shit, I was supposed to like do research, I was supposed to like know what I was getting into. I knew nothing. I just sat there and smiled. I was myself, basically. Like, if they say something, I'll be like, no, and just kind of like carried on smiling. I never stopped smiling, but I honestly thought I wasn't going to get the job because I knew nothing. I came back from the interview and I was like, I haven't got the job, this woman knew everything. I just sat and smiled there, and people were like, you're going to get the job because you have a nice smile. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like the case in the interview. It seemed like he wanted someone that knew all this stuff. And then I got this phone call and they were like, oh yeah, you got the job. And I was like, so, but I didn't do anything. But that's my point. That's what I'm trying to get to, is that don't worry if you don't think you know as much as someone else. As long as you're you and you're like a bubbly and you kind of like bring confidence, if you can just sit there, just because, even if you don't know anything, you can just sit there, smile, kind of like listen, and don't worry that if you don't know what they're saying, tell them, oh, I'm really sorry, I don't know. Or because I'd rather, if I was giving you an interview, let's do this, if I went, do you know what the square root of 1,500? You don't want them to know that you're lying. When you try and be like, oh yeah, of course I know this, it's 5, and they're like, go. Rather than if they ask you kind of, do you know how many shops we have around the UK? I'm really, really sorry, I don't know. Oh no, that's fine, don't worry about it, it's 20. Oh really? And then you like, that would be so much better than lying to them and saying you know, or you know. As long as you're yourself, and as long as you bring something to the interview, as long as you can bring something to the job. And I am a great example for you guys out there, because I am surviving, I'm getting better, I'm slowly kind of understanding what it's like to go into the real world and rent places and buy places and money and all this shit. And I still have no idea what's going on. So, and all of you are probably a lot smarter than I am. But, so if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. Hand on heart, you guys are going to be fine. But you have to prepare yourself. You have to know what you're doing. This has gone more of a prepare yourself rather than what school and college doesn't prepare you for. Okay guys, that has been my video. I'm sorry if it's all over the place and doesn't make any sense. But that is real life. Real life doesn't make sense sometimes, and real life can be all over the place. It can be a mess. So in retrospect, this video is a metaphor, just the video itself, for being a mess. is a metaphor for life and what you've got coming. I've now got an interview with my bank, which should be fun. Wish me luck. Take this video how you will, and until next time, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment below, hit the thumbs up button if you think this video is at all helpful, and I will see you next week.